G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and today, well, we're going to be checking out this tiny little thin thing right here, and this is very aptly named. This is the Twig. Now this is from Nemo's Quad Supplies, so I'll leave a little link for this down in the description below, and pretty cool actually because this is a Melbourne-based frame, so very, very local to me, sort of about an hour's drive if I actually wanted to turn up to the shop. Anyway, what we're going to be doing, this is I guess a bit of an overview because I'm not going to be building this one or flying this one at all until the next video. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be sticking this little frame on the bench. We'll have a look at it and then have a bit of a closer look at what it's like when it's all built up. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, so here's how the Twig comes, and I've never had a camera quite so zoomed in for such a small little packet because that's it. That's all you get for your frame. So a very, very minimalist frame. Let's open it up and check out its components. Alrighty, so here's everything you get, and actually I'm really, really impressed already because look at this. How many arms can you count there? I know that a lot of people are going to say, Stuart, the structural integrity of this thing looks crazy. Like, look how thin those arms are. They're going to break, and yeah, you're probably right. It is designed to be a very minimalist racer. But the guys over at Nemo's Quad Supplies, check that out. You actually get 2 spare arms. So that's not something you see in all kits. So I really like how they've given you 2 of the spare arms. That's I think that's really, really good thinking because yeah, looking at those, I probably am going to break some of those. So hopefully, anyway, hopefully we're going fast enough that we can get some cool crashes. Alrighty, so you're going to get your 6 arms. You're going to get your 2 little brace plates that are going to be used to sandwich those arms together. You get 2 different top pods. Now I don't know if they got meant to go on together or if you just meant to use one as a spare. We'll start off with just using one anyway. And you also get this little part. This is probably the coolest part, is a little bit of a TPU mount with some nylon lock nuts pressed in there. So it's nice and flexy and should help add a bit of strength to the frame. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to check out these arms individually and then we're going to move through. We'll quickly look at these plates because there's not really too much to see here. We'll have a look at, we'll put the standoffs and all the nuts and screws and bolts and all those things in, and then we'll have a look at the frame as itself as a whole. Alright, so this is a 5-inch frame, so it's designed to spin some 5-inch motors, and what you notice here, it only has 2 screw holes right here, so it's only going to be mounting on 2 screws, and the whole idea of this frame isn't, you know, to be as minimalist as it can be, so it's going to be spinning some 5-inch props, and really the part we should probably be looking at is it's only 5.5 millimeters thick crosswise, or whatever you call that, across the surface, and it is 4 millimeters thick. So it's a tiny, I guess, little square of carbon. And look, I do have some reservations in a hard crash. How's this going to go? It's obviously made just for flags and fields, so racing around somewhere with nothing hard, because I suspect if you hit a tree or anything like that with these, they're going to rip right off. But if you are just racing around some grassy fields and flags, this thing should be absolutely ripper. It's going to be a very, very minimalist type of build. Now moving on, we've got our 2 little brace plates, and they're going to be used to sandwich our arm together right here. So let's have a look at how thick. I think they look about 1.5 mils thick, so let me just zero this in. Hang on, zero that in. So they're coming in at, yeah, 1.5 mils thick for that one. That one's probably the same. That one's 1.5, so nothing too special. You will notice they're in the 36 by 36 sort of standard size mounting holes, so the same size for your flight controllers and most of the PDBs and things like that. But not too much to say about those. Again, very, very light, keeping it small. And then we've also got this one, so the same sort of size, but like I mentioned before, this one's got some press nuts right here. Oh, not press nuts, little nylon lock nuts that you can screw, but I like it because it's TPU, so I'm hoping that this is going to have a little bit of flex and help our frame out in those high impact situations. It just allows it to bend just enough to stop it from snapping. And then finally, we've got our 2 little top plates. And I don't know why you actually get 2, because top plates aren't usually the thing I think about breaking. You know, I'm going to think about breaking these arms probably a lot more. But still, it's nice to see that we've got some right here. They look identical. And I guess the idea about these ones is you poke your antenna up through the back, or I guess you mount your whole VTX swinging from the back like that. And I'll show you more of that once I've actually put the frame together, because you get your plastic standoffs. I think they're plastic. Let's open these up and have a look. Get your standoffs as well. Yeah, they're all nylon. So, oh, but you do get some longer bolts to make it a little bit stronger as you go through. Right, what I want to do, because it's hard to talk about the frame like this when it's got all its pieces right here, let's put it together and see what it looks like in the final product, so when the frame's all built up. So let's cut to that in 3, 2, 1, editing. Woohoo! Boop. Rightio, so there it is, all built up, and it was a bit of a mission actually, trying to twist those long screws all the way through those bolts right there, through those little nylon lock nuts. It's actually made my wrist a bit stinging. Anyway, this is the frame all built up, and you can see it is an absolutely, I guess, minimalist sort of footprint that you're going to have. Extremely light. Actually, speaking of that, let's weigh it right now. Take your bets. Let's, I'm going to say 25 grams. I don't know. That sounds like a good number. Stick it on here. Oh man, I'm so bad at this stuff lately. 41 grams. There we go. So 41 grams. But that's also not including these 4 little pieces right here. And that's going to be used. Oh, they're not even coming in at 1 gram. So my scales aren't accurate enough right there. But that's going to be used. Let's see if we can make a difference. Yeah, still 41 grams. But those little bits are going to be used to separate your flight controller when you put it inside here. Now, I do like the way that it goes together. It's really, really simple. It does have this one little bolt in the middle, and something I want to point out, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but these arms, they're not flush up against each other, so I don't know if that's going to allow it to have a little bit of movement in a really, really heavy crash, if that's going to let it move and maybe stop an arm from breaking, or if it's going to stop the load from spreading and just totally snap the arm. So I'm not 100% sure on that one. If it moves, I guess it's probably going to be good. If it doesn't move and all the force is kept in just one arm, I can see this thing going kaput and not having a very good day. Now, a frame like this is absolutely dying for some really kick-ass motors, so I'm going to have a bit of a hunt around and try to put something special on here, because I know for me, when I'm building this, this is really a bit of a mad experiment to me. I want to see, are these type of frames worth it? So let's make something that goes really, really quick, and then unfortunately, I feel like we're going to have to see how it holds up in crashes, because there's no point buying a frame if it doesn't hold up at all. Now, some people will note it does look like, I think it was the QAV that has one of them that looks very, very similar to these, and there was a bit of a clone of it, the RFX 185, but that had some different parts here that went between each arm, so this is going to be, I guess, even less structurally sound than that, but it should be extremely quick. So that's the part that I'm really excited about. Of course, it's going to be a really tight build in here, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of planning in here, so it should be very, very interesting. But I promise you guys are gonna want to see it, so let's put this together and let's make something. Look, I'm not focused on durability, I'm not focused on anything but just all out insanity speed, so that's probably what the goal of this build is going to be. So there it is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that little, I guess, first look at this frame. It does remind me very much of some of the other ones out there, those very minimalist X frames that are made just for flags and fields. Now, what I can't wait to do is put some very, very high performance motors on this thing, because it is super thin, and it probably is going to break, I think, if I push this thing hard enough, and I want to push it hard. So we're going to put some awesome motors on here and see just how fast we can get around some flags and fields. So stay tuned for that in, I guess, part 2, because that's going to be coming up. Subscribe for more FPV related content, and as always, happy flying! Alright, come on. Hop off, hop off. On your bed. Alrighty, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel and check out these videos. And I'm also going to leave a little link here to my Patreon page, because I've got some fantastic Patreon supporters and I like to give back to them as well. So if you want to join the UAVfutures family, there's things like bonus velcro straps, little bundles of FPV goodies and things like that that also get sent out. Anyway, happy flying.